It is good to be back together for this semester. It's good to see you. Pray God's blessing on you. And we're really excited about exploring even deeper what it means to be rooted in love, what it means to be rooted in God's love, and then love God with all our heart and soul and mind and strength. And there's lots of great speakers coming and lots of great events that we think you'll particularly enjoy. We're going to bring back the Branch Out Chapels because you gave great feedback on that. And we're going to do that again. But we always want you also to know a little bit about the options happening over at Liberty Station on Mondays and Wednesdays. So we're just going to watch this video and let you see a little bit about that.
I'm Anaya Crabtree.
My name is Tommy O'Neill.
I'm Natalia Rago.
And I attended the Liberty Station Bible Study last semester.
I was there all throughout my first semester, and I really enjoyed the intimate atmosphere.
Because it was smaller, we could share our opinions, and if we had any questions, it was easy to get them out there and get them answered.
Liberty Station Bible Study is an opportunity for students that has both unique and familiar aspects. We get to worship together. We get to be led by a chaplain similar to in Brown Chapel.
We'll always have the right things to say, even if there was awkward silences because people didn't know what questions to ask. He always had just the right things to say to guide us and guide our thoughts.
Kyle and Will did a really great job of making a good community and a good environment so that we could build relationships with them and the people around us.
Uniquely, we spend time in discussion together. We have the opportunity to learn about Scripture and to better deeply understand the themes that run through Scripture and better deeply understand ourselves and our opinions.
By the end of the semester, it was really easy for me to open up and talk about how I was feeling and any questions I had, and just having those relationships with the people around me and the leaders themselves.
A lot of the times you go straight from class and just go on with your day, so being able to interact with my friends and classmates who I didn't know before was super cool, and I was really blessed with that experience.
So the Liberty Station Chapel is on Mondays and Wednesdays, and it's really open for anybody, and it's a great place to gather in a smaller sense of community, and for those who are looking for that, we just want you to be aware that that's happening. In today's chapel, we've asked two folks to share their hopes and their dreams for this place and for you and for this semester. And so we've asked Malin Martin, our ASB Spiritual Life Director, and our president, Dr. Bob Brower, to share from their hearts. So I'm going to invite the two of them to come up, and Malin is going to share first, and then Dr. Brower, and then we'll continue in worship. So receive their hopes and dreams for you as a prayer.
Thanks, Mary. Wow, 2017. Did you guys know that people that were born in the year 2000 are 17 this year? That blows my mind. I can't wrap my mind around it. This semester, this year we've been talking a lot about loving God and loving others and what that looks like, and it's really easy for people to say, well, if you want to love other people, just look at Jesus. Just look at the way Jesus lived his life. And that's awesome advice, but I think oftentimes when we turn our eyes to Jesus, we miss one of the most foundational moments of Jesus' life. And that's the moment where he's standing in the Jordan River, and he's being baptized, and God speaks out in an audible voice. And he says, "This is my son, whom I love, in whom I am well pleased." And it was that moment forward that Jesus began his life of ministry, loving other people. But before that, we hear nothing of Jesus doing these crazy miracles or acts of love. Those come after we hear, "This is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased." And I just so wholeheartedly believe that it is impossible to give what you don't have. And so often we try loving people out of our own strength, and it goes south, and people get hurt. But my prayer is that this semester we'd live from a place of being loved first, that we would love out of a place of knowing that we ourselves are loved. And I pray that the banner over your life would be, "You are my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased." You are my beloved daughter in whom I am well pleased. And that we would live our lives from that place of knowing that this is what the Lord has spoken over my life. And before I interact with other people, I'm going to do it from a place of knowing that I'm loved. Yeah, so that's just my prayer and my heart for this semester and for us as a university. I'm going to hand it off to Bob Brower.
Thanks, Malin. I always enjoy hearing what you have to say. It comes deep from the heart, and thank you for good words this morning. Well, I welcome back. Welcome to those of you who are new. Fun to see you on the video. Really glad we're all here together. There's and Malin spoke about it, there's a certain anticipation and sense of the new year. It is really hard to do the math and figure that from 2000 to 2017, man. I had missed that. Thanks. All right. Calm it down. So how many of you are wearing something you got for Christmas? Be honest. All right, good. Yeah, you're making your mom and dad proud. How many of you have given stuff to your roommate to get rid of it already? Yeah, there you go. Yep, well done. I have aspirations for this new year. There is always this sense of newness. I don't know what it is about the calendar flipping over into January 1. But there is this sense of newness and this sense of unknownness. I really don't know all that's coming. And yet there is this confidence that Malin spoke of, that in Christ we have hope. And in this new semester, I want you to learn deeply. I really want you to dig in, to learn a lot. Seniors, this is kind of the last push. You know, I expect to see you in May. Put that diploma, that empty diploma cover in your hand. Yeah. For those of you that are in between or just starting, these are opportunities. We are privileged to be able to be here together and to enjoy this place and God's blessings, to be taught deeply, to dig into our faith and establish our roots of living in Christ. When I was a sophomore, a couple of years before 2000, there was a passage out of Philippians. Hey, not so hard, come on. There was a passage out of Philippians, the 2nd chapter, that became deeply meaningful to me about living out in community. And sometime, hopefully today, take a look at that. But it talks about Christ coming in humility and humbling himself to do the purposes of God. And in doing so, he stepped back from his privileged position of God and humbled himself and became one of us, that he would place others before even himself in respect and love and care and service and commitment and ultimately the cross. Because what he was about was doing the purposes of God. And so my hope this year, as you listen to Malin talk about who Jesus became, that it was out of that sense of doing the purposes of God in full humility for the sake of others, that he reflected God in his life and living, in his death and resurrection. Learn deeply, know Christ well. Live and serve with others, that his Spirit, the Spirit of Christ, might be known through you, by you, and in you in this semester. God bless you. Let's call God's presence upon us this year.